So in the past, I used to review paleo documentaries, but now that I'm figuring things out with my YouTube channel and returning after years of hiatus, I've decided that I might not review any other shows coming up. So you're thinking, why? And the answer is because of this guy, Prehistoric Planet. So it's almost a year ago now since Prehistoric Planet made its debut, and it was just incredible. There are no other words for it. It was just an incredible show with incredible CGI that was incredibly accurate. Words that are very difficult to put all in one TV show about dinosaurs or any prehistoric life documentary. A decade ago, we had Dinosaur Revolution, and if we look at the CGI of Beelzebufo, the giant devil frog of Madagascar, and then compare it to the version that was in Prehistoric Planet, the CGI is night and day in quality. The Beelzebufo in Prehistoric Planet looks real. It actually looks like a real breathing animal, but it's not, it's CGI. We've come a long way from documentaries just 10 years ago. And I just remember thinking back after watching the first episode of season 1 and the last episode of the season and thinking, wow, where do we go from here? It's going to be really hard to make a documentary any better than this. And I guess the answer to that is, well, we just keep seeing more of these animals and this incredible quality of CGI and storytelling. Prehistoric Planet isn't perfect though, and that's just normal for paleo documentaries. As time goes on, we find something out that's inaccurate about what we used to know in the science, and so it makes things outdated. And for example, we know that the Carnotaurus, the scutes, were actually more randomly placed along its back rather than being in a linear pattern that we got to see in Prehistoric Planet. The thing about Prehistoric Planet though is that when it got announced to the world, it created quite a stir where other TV producers, networks and channels suddenly all jumped onto the bandwagon of wanting to create dinosaur documentaries. Now, if you're a dinosaur fan like me, that might sound like the best thing ever. But we now know that that's not necessarily a good thing. I mean, I didn't watch this show, but I've heard enough from other reviewers on YouTube that this one's probably best to keep away from. But seriously, one of the main reasons I'm thinking of stepping aside from reviewing paleo documentaries is because naturally over time they do become outdated and information becomes inaccurate, and I feel it's a little unfair to pick a show and talk about the fact that it's inaccurate at the current stage that it's being reviewed. However, back in the past, that information might have been pretty valid. Let's use Jurassic Fight Club for example, where the Nanotyrannus is depicted in one of the episodes, but people might say, Nanotyrannus isn't a valid species. But at the time, there were very good arguments to support that it was. And even today, there are some people that have very good evidence to present to say that it is. So the waters get a little murky, but that's one of my main arguments about reviewing TV shows, is that over time, information does get murky, it gets outdated, and it's a little unfair to pick on a show for those reasons. Just over time, things age, sometimes better than other things. I'm also quite wary of TV shows that are announced that say that their CGI is absolutely groundbreaking, because well, after Prehistoric Planet, we've seen other shows say that they have groundbreaking CGI, and let's just say it doesn't quite match up to what is being said. And for Prehistoric Planet, I'm super excited about season 2 coming out in about a month's time from now. So I'm just really excited to being able to see realistic dinosaurs on the TV screen with accurate information, and just being able to feel like I've traveled back in time seeing these incredible animals. I'm also looking forward to a new TV show with the working title Attenborough and the Giant Sea Monster, which will be about David Attenborough giving information about a new discovery of a plesiosaur that's being found, I think, on the Jurassic coast. So this one I'm looking forward to. And it doesn't matter if the show doesn't have the best CGI, if it can't compete with Prehistoric Planet, that's fine. You can still make a good paleo show as long as the information is top notch, which we have seen some other documentaries try and do, and it didn't work out. So that's my opinion on reviewing paleo docs. I just feel Prehistoric Planet has just set a very high bar that I think other shows will struggle to reach. But even then, it doesn't necessarily matter if the CGI isn't good. As long as the information is there and it's top-notch stuff, then you can still make a pretty good TV show on prehistoric animals. And personally, I just feel that there are other YouTubers that are just better at reviewing shows than me. Having said that though, if you would like me to review shows in the future, just comment on my videos or comment on this one, I will see it and perhaps I'll consider it. But right now, I just feel like reviews on paleo docs isn't really where I want to go from this point onwards. So let me know what you think when it comes to reviewing TV shows, and roll on May 22nd for Prehistoric Planet 2.